Hi, welcome to the bathtub. This is the old masturbator, Scott Bradfield, and his glass of water. Pure mountain water, no alcoholic substitutes, just water. And we're here to talk about one of our little theme shows. We do a kind of series of pointless theme shows. We're reading through Don DeLillo. It's going to be probably a few years to get through this. But basically, I've been reading Don DeLillo from the beginning through his career. And for mixed reasons, he's not my. I've been periods where I love certain things about DeLillo, and he really makes me laugh. And this book is a good example of it. And then I always reach a point in every one of his books. My trajectory in reading him is this: I really enjoy the first half, sometimes first 2/3, and the second half sucks. The last third of it just sucks, and I just feel like I'm just turning the pages, and I mean, it's like doesn't even have a story going on at all. So that's how my general feeling, and I feel the same way about this, only I think this is still one of my favorites. It's called RATNER'S Star. It's published in 1976. And I read this in the early 80s when I was first reading DeLillo, and I don't remember I remember being pretty confused by it, and I don't even know if I finished it the first time. And this time I was actually kind of dreading reading it because I had the feeling this was going to be everything I don't like about DeLillo, kind of squared, right? But I really enjoyed it. For the first 2/3, I enjoyed a great deal. It's really funny. I actually look forward to sitting down with it every night or in the morning. I would look forward to the next section because it was just a series. It's basically a series of very, very funny comic scenes between super egghead scientists and all their crazy theories and their crazy behaviors and their crazy dialogue. One thing that jumped out at me when I was reading it was how much it was like Alice in Wonderland. This book, unlike anything else of DeLillo's, but Alice in Wonderland, because it's about a kid who goes into this world of scientists. Basically, he's taken off by the government to go. He's a super genius mathematician kid, and he goes off to this compound of super geniuses, and he just meets a bunch of crazy characters. It's just a series of episodes. And they don't really lead towards anything. There's no real plot, but it's just these individual hilarious scenes. And I was just before I came on here, I looked online. I saw DeLillo claims that he deliberately actually did that, but it is pretty obvious when you read the book. Anyway, so this series of weird scenes between him and crazy scientists. There's the reason he's brought to this compound is because he's a 14-year-old super genius who I think he's won the Nobel Prize, and they want him to help them decipher messages from another planet. And the other planet is called RATNER'S Star. And they want him to decipher this message. The guy who used to decipher the message has left the compound and dug a hole and is living in a hole. It's like, there's a really funny scene when Billy first goes out to visit this guy. And he's living in a hole. Ever since he's seen this message, he's gone to live in this hole. And in that hole, he's dug another hole. There's a hilarious scene when Billy first goes to meet this guy. I forget his name now. And the whole book is a series of conversations with crazy scientists. And they're all explaining their crazy theories to one another. And you don't really need to know any science at all because it's kind of just really complex bullshit. Really, and then the really ridiculousness of all these various characters. So everything is seen through Billy's eyes, and the whole progress of the story is him going deeper and deeper into this world of crazy scientists to find out what's happening. The last third of the book, I don't know why DeLillo does this stuff. He just completely abandons all that. Well, he doesn't completely abandon it, but the whole progress, which is we're in this kid's head and we're meeting all these crazy characters, and the kid is reflecting on it all, and we're with him. The last third of the book, Billy's just one of many characters, and DeLillo pops around from all these different characters. And I'll be honest with you, I got so bored by most of the last third. I was skimming most of it. I was very disappointed, as I am often in DeLillo novels. Anyway, I'm going to give you a quick taste. This is one of the crazy characters, basically. And what you don't want to don't waste your time trying to understand the crazy scientific theory that he's propounding, but just listen to the kind of weird asides the guy makes while he's explaining his crazy theory. We can trace the evolution of the universe from the Big Bang to the present moment. This guy's name is Mohole. mole. In my early work on background radiation, which is detectable evidence of the fireball of the Big Bang, if there was a Big Bang, I developed a theory, listen to this, about a strange kind of mechanism at work in the universe. This is the value dark dimension, or mole totality, and it's the core idea of a unique system of relativity. This is Moholian relativity. He just wants to keep mentioning that it's his idea, right? Just beginning to attract attention, very controversial, named by me after myself. What I theorize happens in a mole is that X-rays, gamma rays, ultraviolet light, radio waves, gas, dust, clouds, and so forth are trapped and held by relativistic forces we don't fully understand as yet. Forces created in the first 1,000th of a second after the universe began. Incidentally, it's no good trying to visualize a mole. I've already tried, and it can't be done. Nobody knows what it looks like because it doesn't look like anything. And we can't pinpoint its location because it seems to have many locations. Another way of saying, there are moleholes numbering n, and they all seem to shift, affecting different parts of the computer universe for varying amounts of time. The sum total of all moleholes is what I call the value dark dimension. All the key words in this explanation, by the way, are totally misleading due to the everyday quirks of language. So, I mean, the whole book is a joke on trying to use language and math and science in order to explain the universe, which is basically, you would think, in DeLillo's vision, unexplainable. So every one of these systems of meaning is a delusion to some extent. And as the kid goes further and further into all these kind of weird, again, like Alice in Wonderland, all these characters are caught up in different kind of weird weird twists of logic, and everything, it's based on numbers and math, and they're trying to make arguments about things. It's the first two thirds of the book are just hilarious. The last third sucks. That's all. That's going to be pretty much my review, I think, of almost every DeLillo book. Stay safe.